This is One on One. I'm Stacey Carmichael, and I'm joined by the Honorable Dr. George Norton, Minister of Social Cohesion, who also has responsibility for culture, youth, and sport. Minister, it's a pleasure having you on the program this afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm happy to be here with you this afternoon.
Okay, great. Now, Minister, your ministry upon its creation was met with a little bit of criticism. Now, 4 years on, how has the ministry been performing, and what are some of the achievements under your ministry?
It's interesting that that criticism, opposition we encountered at the beginning actually happened because since independence we've been hearing one people, one nation, one destiny. Yet nobody stopped to evaluate, to question if we're achieving that. And unless one is serious about having one people in one nation with one destiny, only then would we be able to achieve something in that respect. The ministry, to create a ministry of social cohesion, to achieve those objectives, is definitely the way to go. And we have been working in that area. There's no doubt about the fact that we have national events that take care of all the different ethnic heritages that we have. From the beginning of the year, you will have the Chinese Arrival Day, and further down you will have the Portuguese Arrival Day. We've got the Indian Arrival Day. We've got the celebration of emancipation. You have full month of Amerindian heritage. This just tells us that these are activities that are long overdue, and it points to the fact that yes, we are of different ethnicity, different heritages, but we are one people in the end. And we work along that line, in so much so that, for instance, the different communities, we had inter-village exchanges. We started out in Region 9, where youths, 150 youths from 32 different villages, particularly of the Wapchana and the Makushi, spent 1 week together in the Rupununi of various activities involving sports, culture, and social work, with some amount of educational aspect, health education. And we did that not only for a second time, but for third time this year. And what is surprising is that we were able to do it in Region 9. We all know Region 9, the geographical layout and the physical structure that is there. But we went so far as to have it done in Region 8, that's in the Pacaraimans. And these are success stories, and we want to continue along that line. Of course, we also had it in the Essequibo Coast, the upper and lower Pomeroon, the lake villages, and the Essequibo Coast.
Thank you, Minister. Now, we know that one of your signature activities on the 2020 calendar would be the Jubilee celebration. Could you tell us briefly what are some of the plans for next year's Jubilee?
Well, I don't want persons to think that it's going to be Mashramani celebration, but bigger. This is definitely going to be something different. It is definitely the 50th Golden Jubilee of Republic, of us being a republic, and we want it to be better. We want it to be bigger. We want it to stand out. There will be, of course, some aspects of the Mashramani celebration. We're looking forward to the float parade and the panorama contest and so on, but we'll be also having a lecture series as well as drama festival, fashion festival, culinary festivals. We're having concerts, and of course we will have that activity involving cultural display, particularly by the school children.
Thank you. And but I know you probably don't want to give away too much on what will be coming at the Jubilee. So we're going to go a little bit into the other areas. I know you have responsibility for culture, youth, and sport. What are some of the projects that we can expect come 2020 under these various headings?
Well, our signature project in sports, of course, is the finishing off of the 2 synthetic tracks that we have in Region 10, that's in the Wisma area, and in Region 6 in New Amsterdam. We're certain that before the end of this year, we will reach a stage of the laying of asphalt. So come 2020, it would only need the accumulation of the synthetic material and the laying of that synthetic material. And of course, other infrastructure surrounding those 2 tracks, and we'll be having our 3rd synthetic track for athletes in track and field here in Guyana. And this leads to Guyana being able to perform and to prepare better for 2021, when we are expected to host the Junior Crifter Games here in Guyana for the first time, should all go well. And we also take into consideration that the Junior Commonwealth Games will be held in Trinidad, and we're hoping that we would be able to participate in all events of these meets. And of course, we're hoping to put Guyana on its rightful place among its Caribbean neighbors on the map in terms of the podiums, the medals that we receive. Why should St. Kitts, why should Grenada, why St. Lucia should be there and no Guyana? I will never feel satisfied or contented, bearing in mind that for 50 years and we only have 1 Olympic medal, that being a bronze. And in boxing, we've got to do much better than that. We've got a lot of catching up to do, and we're prepared to get out there and do the work. We're working with the associations, we're working with the different sporting fraternity. We do wish that we can contribute much more than we are at this point in time, but we will get there.
Yes, Minister. And in terms of youth programs?
It is interesting to note that when we became an independent nation, we came over with what you might refer to as 2 major problems, one of security and the other of youth unemployment. And we had a consultant from the United Nations, one Mr. Caldor, who did a study how we can improve on that situation in terms of youth unemployment. And he came up with that idea of the Guyana Youth Corps. We still have that problem of youth unemployment. And we still are of the opinion that with the re-establishment of the Guyana Youth Corps, we would be able to solve, if not completely, to a large extent, the problem of employment for our youth. It was with that idea that His Excellency re-established the Guyana Youth Corps at the Kuruguru Training Center. And that's just the beginning. The idea of having a youth campus where our youths who are classified as NEET, being without not employment, education, or training, can be a part of this campus, preparing them for future life. by either further training, by allowing them to acquire enough knowledge so that they can be gainfully employed, or they can, with the knowledge they gain, get into entrepreneurship and work for themselves. It's in the infantile stage. We are working towards that. It is a legend we want to leave for our youths in this country, of them being able to achieve their true potential. That is an area we want to work in. But I can tell you that even as we speak, we are working in other areas, like, for instance, in the night school. We've got night school in Sophia, in North Rheinveld, in Good Intent, in Soesdijk, in Linden, and of course in Borbies. And those students who attend those schools are now being able to write the CSEC examination and are passing. At the last graduation in Sophia, students are leaving these night schools to go to university to do to further their studies. We found that there might be some difficulties still in them attending classes regularly and punctually, and that is so because they're not employed, and many times there might be difficulty in them getting transportation or being sufficiently prepared to come to classes. And for that reason, we are creating institutions where they can actually live in, similar to that of what is happening at Kurukuru Training Center and the Maduini Training Camp. We hope to do that at Den Amstel in Region 3 and Cohesion on the East Coast, so that that problem of dropping out or not being able to complete the course will become a thing of the past. And we know we'll get there. We have the confidence that these students are there, and if given the opportunity, they will make full use of it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Minister. Now, going into 2020, what can citizens expect from the Ministry of Social Cohesion, the Department of Social Cohesion, Culture, Youth and Sport, in terms of unifying the nation, empowering our youth athletes? You know, what are some of the plans? What can they look forward to?
Well, we've been working with organizations, we've been working with communities, we've been working with, like, for instance, the Guyana Police Force, the trade unions, and we go out in the different groups and do what is referred to as sensitization sessions. We have a group, a meeting with a church group. We have persons who are trained, who are professional and can participate in, in not only sensitization sessions, but what we refer to as inclusive education, letting us know who we are, learning to accept who we are, and then after doing that, being able to accept those who are different from us or not like us. And it goes across the divide, involving, whether it's gender, whether it's age, whether it's religion. We try to involve each one. We've had many sessions of this in different communities right across the nation, and we continue to do that so that we can sensitize all and sundry of what social cohesion is all about and what we hope to achieve.
Oh, thank you, Minister. And in the area of culture, a lot of people have been asking, what has the ministry been doing in terms of culture? Is there anything specific that we can look forward to as well in 2020 in the area of culture?
Well, in in the case of culture, there's no doubt about the fact that we have in dealing with the youths that might not have had the opportunity before, we have music classes that they can go to, and they're writing the exams of these music exams, and they're passing them and continuing to higher grades. We've been able so far to buy two pianos by which through which the students can learn. A steel band has made a comeback to the point where we're now looking at an area where we can have our panorama competition, because no longer at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall could we accommodate all the patrons who want to come in, or the audience who want to come and participate. It's overcrowded. We've got bands coming from Berbice. We've got 3 bands there on the East Coast, Region 5. We've got Mahaica. We've got Buxton, only recently was a champion. Georgetown has got its own contingent. Only recently a tutorial, managed to have their own steel band. West Demerara is always there. We had one coming from Bartica. The only reason they're not playing right now in St. Ignatius in the Rupununi is because of a lack of an instructor, but we're hoping to be able to correct that soon. And all in all, we think we're doing well in that particular area. But during the August holidays, the music schools, the music classes that we have, they are always well attended, and it's amazing to see the students using the different instruments at the end of their courses. We'll be able to work with other areas for instance, in dancing. Some repairs was done to that section that we had there in the National Park for both the National Dance Company and the National School of Dance. But we haven't shelved that idea of creating what is known as an Institute of Creative Arts, where we will have one institute that takes care of dancing, drama, visual arts, and all being done in one area. We're looking much more to the accumulation of acquiring land, and of course we look inwards, somewhere along the Mocha Arcadia, so that we can be able to identify that area and do some feasibility study to see where we can best place such an institution.
Thank you, Minister. Now, as we wrap up the program, is there a special Christmas message that you would like to send to the general public, your staff? We give you that opportunity.
Christmas means so much to all of us. And this is the good thing about Guyana. We have become a society where, regardless of whether we are Christians, Baha'is, whether we are Hindus or Muslims, we in some way recognize Christmas. And this is good because similarly, we also recognizing Pagwa, we recognizing Diwali, and the different let's say religious festivals, but we must always bear in mind that what is meant to be. And for one who is a Christian, sometimes it hurts them to see an place where that Christ is in what was supposed to be the meaning of Christmas. So let us keep Christ in Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been One on One, and today I was joined by the Honorable Dr. George Norton, Minister of Social Cohesion with responsibility for culture, youth, and sport. Thank you.